Hi guys, and welcome to the Sunderland vs Charlton match preview. Now, before we do get into it, you can probably tell by my voice that my throat is in absolute bits. Pretty much since the game away from home against Crewe on Tuesday night, which I did attend basically every morning since that game. My throat has just been worse and worse and worse. It's getting to the point where I'm generally struggling to speak at this point. So this is probably going to be short and sweet, but I did want to give my sort of brief thoughts on the game against Crewe, and of course a little preview to the game against Charlton as well this weekend. So of course, just touching on Crewe, what a result that was. Absolutely fantastic in, you know, what was quite a sort of, you know, a little bit of a dodgy performance at times against Gillingham. You know, it was interesting to see how we would react to that. And against Crewe, I feel like, even though in parts I don't think we were great, to come away with a 4-0 win. And, you know, as ruthless as we were, which is probably the key word really, against Crewe, we were ruthless every time we went forward. We looked so unbelievably dangerous. You know, you've got Dhannoo doing bits in the middle of 09 doing the dirty work. You've got O'Brien in the final third doing the dirty work as well. Pritchard, for me, who I've been giving a bit of stick over the last couple of videos, he was fantastic. Best performance in a Sunderland shirt by far. He was really dictating things in the final third. Ross Stewart was absolutely immense. He really was. You know, on the back four at times, or for the majority of the game, looked very much assured. You know, that's not to say that Crewe didn't bother us, because they absolutely did. But, you know, Hoffman, he did his job when he had to. Defensively, I think we were all right, and we did look assured. But yeah, it was a very, very good professional performance. And, you know, we had Jacques coming on for the final sort of 20 odd minutes of the game as well, half hour. And he was fantastic. He got an absolutely brilliant goal. All the goals were brilliant, really, particularly the second, Ross Stewart's, when it's lovely build-up play between Pritchard, Dhannoo. And it's a great little dink over from Dhannoo to Ross Stewart, and the header, sort of diving header to bullet across goal, sending the keeper back the wrong way. It was absolutely class. It really was. So a very, very good result, good performance. And it gets us back, you know, after that game against Pompey. It was very easy for the lads, or it would have been easy for the lads to get their heads down. But, you know, they went and put in a performance against Gillingham, which, again, it was a bit of a dodgy one, but it shows when you're not playing well, we're still getting away with a 2-1 win at a place like Gillingham, which is difficult to go to and get away with a win. And we've gone to Crewe. You know, yes, they were sort of second bottom in the league at the time, but you've got to do a job there. You know, they do have a couple of decent individual players, but we still managed to nullify that threat, really, for the majority. And we battered them going forward, which was absolutely excellent to see. So the lads will be absolutely flying. You know, you've got the likes of Pritchard, as I say, who has had really a pretty poor start to his career at Sunderland, who's done himself no problems there. He was absolutely fantastic. One of the man of the matches for me. Ross Stewart, for me, was man of the match. But if it weren't for Ross Stewart, it would have been Pritchard, because he just dictated everything. Everything seemed to come through him and flow through him. He was absolutely excellent. He was bringing the strikes into play, bringing the, you know, likes of 09 and Neil back into play as well. He was a brilliant sort of segue between the midfield and the final third, and he was playing the role that I expected to play really, really well. So fair play to him, and I think he should start. Now, looking at Charlton, of course, they've had a really, really bad, turbulent start to the season. And as I make this, it has recently been announced that Atkins has been sacked, which, to be fair, I would have, you know, it's typical, isn't it? It would be absolutely typical that he gets sacked and then Charlton go and get themselves a win at the Stadium Light, which would be a nightmare, but it's just typical, and it's the kind of thing that we do. I've seen it before, whenever there's kind of a team that haven't won in X amount of games, or you know, or they do have a manager that's sacked, or they need to break a duck of some form. They seem to always do it against us. So it wouldn't surprise me if we somehow got beat on Saturday, but that won't be in my prediction. You know, I think for Charlton, on paper, they have one of the better sides in the league. You know, I think if you look at their you know, individuals they've got, that is absolutely a top 6 side. It should be, at least. So something is definitely going wrong, and I think it is probably the tactics of Atkins, because they play a sort of 4-2-3-1 with Stockley up top. And to be fair, at times Stockley does remind me of Charlie Wyke when he was going through his poor patch with us, which was pretty much 24 months, you know, where he was absolutely piss poor, where he just looks like a sort of frustrated figure up top. What they do a lot of the time, their tactic is, you know, is pump balls up to him, and to fair to Stockley, he generally wins, you know, the aerial threats. But if he's got no one around him to help him out, then there's nothing there. But they play also a very open brand of football. They try to press from the front, but they are very open. I've seen, you know, for highlights in previous games, look so open, and at the back at times, once they've made one mistake, they seem to crumble, which is something hopefully we can capitalise on. Now, I'm not going to do my sort of big predicted 11 or the graphic at least, because like I say, my throat is in bits. It's actually in a lot of pain now. Please like the video, that'd be massively appreciated. But It really is bad. It hurts so bad. So I'm going to try and round up as quick as possible, really. I would probably go unchanged from the game against Crewe. Depending on how McGeady's doing, because I know he's pretty much living off injections, then maybe let Dietrich start. I know he's recovering from a foot injury as well, really. But, you know, he come on and he was absolutely fantastic. And that goal, you know, he's ran from the halfway line. So absolutely smashing the bottom left-hand corner against Crewe. He was phenomenal in that sense. But, you know, we do need that pace against a side like Charlton. Like I say, it's very easy to look at them and think, oh, they're all that way down at the bottom of the league or towards the bottom of the league. So it should be an easy game. But when you've got the players that they do have, anything can happen. And but for me, in terms of a prediction for the game, a score prediction, I am confident in our ruthlessness. And I think we will make chances against a very, very open Charlton side. I think if they manage to get bodies around Stockley, or they change the formation, or they maybe bring Washington on alongside Stockley, we could be in for a completely different game. Because like I say, Adkins played a 4-2-3-1, which left Stockley really isolated up top, and they just didn't have any threat at all. But if they put two up top, which I think would be an option for them, then maybe it'd be a completely different game, as I say. But again, I think that we will make chances, and I think that we'll take them. And with them being so open, I think we'll get a few. So I'm going to go for a Sunderland 3-1 win at the Stadium of Light, which, of course, won't do Charlton any favours. And I'm under no illusion that this is going to be an easy game, because I don't think it will, particularly that Adkins is gone now. So those players might think to themselves, right, we've got something to prove here. And, you know, to do it somewhere like the Stadium of Light as well for them, it's always an event, an occasion for any team or players to come here to the Stadium of Light. So it isn't going to be an easy game. I'm going to go for 3-1. I think they will get themselves a goal. I think Stockley will get it, because, like I say, he's a nightmare in the air. Whether he'll get the service around him or get service in general, we'll have to wait and see. But I'm going to go for Sunderland 3-1 win. I think Ross Stewart will get back amongst it, and I do think Dietrich will as well. I'll go for 2 for Stewart and 1 for Dietrich. Jesus Christ, my throat, I feel like I could friggin' cry, I tell you. Either way, so what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below, and what do you think the scoreline will be? Let me know as well. But if you've enjoyed this video, hit the like button for me, it'd be massively, massively appreciated. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already, to become a fully fledged member of the Sassy Army. But for now, you take care, stay jamming.